So welcome to our second part of our evangelism training, Evangelism 2, which is practical equipping in evangelism. So today we're looking, or rather in this session, we're looking at connecting with people. And so it won't be too long a session. I'm just going to try and explain to you where you can connect with people and how you can connect with them. I want to really hit home with this. You are not going to be able to reach people for the gospel unless you go to where they are. And so if you've got some sort of angst against social media and you don't want to be on Facebook because you think it's from the devil, then get over yourself, stop being a moron. That's where people are, so get on there now. Don't wait, start a new account and get on it. And as you know, if I'm nothing else, I am honest and authentic and as blunt as bricks. If you reckon you're an evangelist and a godly person and you're not on Facebook, then you've got something wrong in your head. Where can you connect with people? The pub, if you're up for going to the pub. And again, let me just say this, you know, if you reckon you're a Christian who's on mission, and you want to be an evangelist, you need to be able to go to places like the pub and sit in the tension of there's sinners here and I don't want to be around sin because, you know, listen, none of us really want to be around certain language and around certain atmospheres and stuff, but Jesus, the Pharisees once accused him of being a drunkard, which means he must have had at least one drink, right? It's interesting. Where do you sit on this stuff? Get yourself down a pub. You don't have to have a beer, but if you want to be on mission, then you need to hit the pub from time to time. You also need to be heading to places like cafes and stuff like that. To be honest with you, though, a cafe is a place where you don't expect to be approached by strangers. So it's not very often I've got into a decent conversation in a cafe. I do from time to time, but that's because I'm a nutter for Jesus, really. I'll be honest with you, from time to time I go and sit at a table with other people who are already there. Or, if there's like a few sofas or something next to each other, I'll go and sit amongst people because, you know, maybe the place is too full or something or whatever else and there's nowhere to sit. So I'll go to cafes like that deliberately. And then I sit amongst other people, and then I usually go there with a good book or something, and a Bible, and I plonk them down on the cafe table, coffee table, and then I might have a bit of coffee, and then I might read a little bit, and essentially I'm there. I'm trying to spark their interest. It's normally all right to say, "Hey, how you doing?" Maybe introduce yourself. And just so you know, quite often when I'm in that sort of place, quite often I find that people butt into my conversation that I might be having with someone else. So it's quite normal for you to butt into someone else's conversation and tell them how you feel about their conversation, you know. But we'll talk about starting a conversation in a short while. So places where you can meet with people. At the moment, there are something like 3 billion people on Facebook. So if you're not on Facebook, and you reckon you're an evangelist, then you're deluded. You need to get on there and get yourself into some Facebook forums. So recently we have been looking at starting churches in as many different locations as we can. So when we first started here in Lincoln, what we did was 2 years before we moved to Lincoln, so in my second year of Bible college, I started a Facebook profile for Ignite Church. And then I started adding people from Lincoln, and I started adding people to my friends list from Lincoln. And then I started adding myself and our church to all of the different forums and groups that are on in Lincoln on Facebook. So how do you do that? You go to your search bar on Facebook at the top of the Facebook page, and you type in Lincoln or wherever you live, Northampton, Corby, Newcastle, Manchester, whatever. Search in the name of the place where you live, and then hit the groups tab at the top there, and then a whole list of groups. So generally speaking, I only really want to be in a couple of selling groups because they get so many posts on there, it's unbelievable. But I join loads and loads of groups like Mums in Lincoln, Cars in Lincoln, Neighbourhood Board Lincoln, all these different things. I join all of the ones where people are going to be chatting about their neighbourhood and are keen not to sell stuff and to promote businesses. And then there's things like What's On in Lincoln, and then News and Views in Lincoln, and then Lincoln Banter page, all these different things. There's loads and loads of them. So I join all of those and try to reach out to as many people as I can by sharing church into them on a Sunday, and also connecting with them one-to-one. So eventually what will happen is I might share something of the gospel on my Facebook, and then what we do then is we share that out to, like at the moment we might share that to 50 different groups around Lincolnshire. And then what will happen is people inevitably contact us because of that. So this weekend we had at least 10 new people join us for church. And then on top of that, I think this week I've had at least 6 people contact us as a church to say they want to be involved in what we're doing. Whether they're Christians or non-Christians, I have absolutely no idea. I'm hoping that they're all unchurched, and so they're fresh, and I can go and lead them to Jesus, and I'll get some fruit in heaven. Whereas I'm not sure that Jesus sees stealing sheep from another church as treasure. Anyway, so look for places where you can connect in that way. So online Facebook, there's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We've been on TikTok. We haven't seen much fruit from TikTok at all yet, so I'm interested to see what happens there. But Instagram, we've got a lot of people who follow us on Instagram as well, from Lincoln. And so that's a good place for young people. Snapchat, places like that, in terms of online availability and trying to figure out how we connect with people on there. One of my friends, Carrick, has a gaming church sort of system set up. So he has a bunch of different young people who join in with online gaming, and they chat over the headset, and they talk about faith and stuff, so it's church through gaming. What's interesting is oftentimes when you're gaming, because young lads are interested, like they're what's the word, when chatting, if you talk to them face to face, they might struggle to chat face to face, but when doing something with their hands or doing something else, otherwise being engaged in something else, they're more open to chatting at depth. So Carrick's finding that by playing a game with them, he's able to chat at depth with them at the same time. I've been playing some games with some of our children as well at church in Lincoln, so we've been connected in that way. And for a lot of the time, that's actually the only way that I can connect with young people, through gaming church, interestingly, eh? There's lots of places where you're going to find people. In terms of on the streets, Facebook has more people on it than the local high street just now. So again, if you're serious about reaching people for Jesus, and you're not hung up on all the latest conspiracies, which the Bible says not to get involved with, then Facebook has got to be more fruitful than the streets. However, having said that, there's nothing wrong with popping into your local high street and being really, really gentle again. In Lincoln we have these guys who like shout, and they have a go at people that are gay and bisexual and stuff, and then they have a go at other people for other stuff, and it's ruined the atmosphere for an actual evangelist to go into the city centre here, because people just think of us like they think of them, and it ruins our vibe so bad. So if you are going to go into town, make sure you're gentle, and do some like gentle prayer stuff and conversational stuff rather than just preaching at people, because no one likes to be preached at, and unless you're a really good preacher, you're not going to keep their attention anyway. And I'll be honest with you, there's not that many good preachers out there. I know some good preachers, and they can't hold people's attention in the streets either. So it's preaching's not the way forward. Having a conversation is. Other places that I found you can connect with people. We get food from local supermarkets, and we go out in the streets and we lay out the food in the street, and then we go down the street knocking on all the doors, and then everyone comes out to come and get some food. We do that all the time. Recently we've been doing it. Marks and Spencer's have been giving us food, and so we've been connecting people in that way. So Marks and Spencer's, their food, I can go to more affluent areas, and people that are really affluent are still happy to be given a loaf of bread from Marks and Spencer's or a packet of their donuts, because their donuts are like the best. They're like crusty creams or whatever, Krispy Kreme donuts. They're amazing. So we've been giving out food, and we connect with people in that way. We also do the odd like barbecue, or we got some bouncy castles. So if you're a church leader watching this now, let me encourage you, buy a bouncy castle. You can get one second hand on Facebook for like 400 quid or something, 500 quid, with the blower and with the mats and everything. Buy yourself a bouncy castle, and you could pick up a cheap generator somewhere for like, I don't know, 100 quid. And then what we do is we rock up at people's houses. So obviously you don't need a generator if you're rocking up at someone's house. You just need an extension lead. You just go and knock on someone's door with a big front garden. You say, hey, I'm from the local church. Or maybe you know someone from your church who has some children and they have lots of friends. So what you can do is you can say, hey, Vicky, I'm thinking about coming around your house at the weekend to bless you with the use of our bouncy castle for a day. Have the boys got any friends that they might want to invite round? You know what I mean? And then you're just there. Hey, I can cook you some bacon butties as well. You got any mates you want to invite round that we'd have a bacon butty and a barbecue and have bouncy castle round your house at the weekend. And then all of a sudden, you're allowing Vicky then to do mission, and you're getting the opportunity to speak into their lives, and all of her network of people, then all of her network of friends and family and that sort of stuff are all going to come round, and they're going to want to chat to you. They're not only they're going to want to chat to you, but they're also going to want you to bring the bouncy castle around to their house and do a bouncy castle barbecue for them as well. And their networks. And so you can imagine, with that in mind, how well you can connect with different networks of people. Another thing that I tend to do is I rock up at people's houses, like Vicky or whoever else, Malcolm or whoever else, and I just rock up and say, hey, I've popped around for a cup of coffee. I might ring some people beforehand. I'll ring someone, I'll say, what are you doing? And they'll go, I'm at home. I'll say, you got anyone round? And they'll say, they might say, oh yeah, Ethel from around the corner's round. Oh, brilliant, put a kettle on then, I want to come and meet Ethel. You know what I mean? Like, how easy is it to go and meet people who you don't already know, and then you could have hours sitting there chatting about Jesus with Ethel, because Ethel's already round Vicky's house and already knows Vicky's a Christian. You know what I mean? And then I'm just rocking up as pastor. I didn't know pastors come round. Or I didn't know the evangelist comes round and has a cup of coffee around your house. Yeah, I bought some biscuits as well. You know what I mean? Like it's so easy. It's way easier than what you think it is to connect with people. So my top tips for connecting with people as we come up to the 15-minute mark are: get on Facebook. For whatever reason you aren't already on Facebook, just stop it and get on there, and share the good news on your Facebook page. Okay, add as many people as you can. More people means more people being reached with the gospel. So get on Facebook, get on social media, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. Just get on it. Just stop doing whatever you're doing and get on it. Okay. Number 2, if you haven't already got one, then buy a bouncy castle and a barbecue. Best buys as an evangelist, by far the best buys. And then go around to people's houses, and what we do is we rock up on little green areas on a housing estate. So say like there's a street where there's loads of people living in poverty but they don't have gardens. There's usually a bit of greenery outside a block of flats or something. So get your bouncy castle, your barbecue, and your what I've found is that if I invite 500 people to a barbecue on a field, I don't get to talk to anyone. So how can I share the good news with them? It's pointless. So instead, what I do is I head out to a block of flats and share the good news with maybe 10, 15 people. And then I'll make a connection with them and become friends. How easy is that? Honestly, so good. So top tips, get on Facebook, get a bouncy castle and a barbecue. And then what was the third one? Oh yeah, start visiting people at their homes. Ring them up beforehand and ask them if they've got friends and family around. And if they have, then go and have a cup of coffee and take some biscuits and a cake with you. You know what I mean? So easy to connect with people. And if you go into the streets, be gentle. Because there's no point in shouting your mouth off. Okay, one real quick lesson for you there. We're going to move on. Have a blessed rest of the day.